thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What will you, though, remember as being most special about pulling off double duty for this project?
What comes to mind isn't so much about the work that went into it, but about the why behind it.
Let me tell you about Blake Lively, America's supposed golden girl. You know her, those flawless looks, that million-dollar smile, the red carpet glamour that makes everyone swoon. But honey, let me tell you what's really going on behind those perfect poses and designer dresses. There's a side to Blake that Hollywood has been desperately trying to keep under wraps, and trust me, it's juicy.
Want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could...
We're talking serious drama here. From shocking allegations of on-set bullying to a massive showdown with Justin Baldoni that's got everyone talking. And let me tell you, the truth bombs that have been dropping lately, they're absolutely destroying that picture-perfect reputation she's worked so hard to build.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
I mean, seriously, is Blake really the sweet, innocent darling we all thought she was? Because, darling, there might be a much darker side to all that fame and fortune. And the biggest question on everyone's minds right now, did she actually make up those accusations against Baldoni just to save her own skin? Let me spill all the tea because this story is wild. It all kicked off back in December when Blake dropped a bombshell by filing a complaint with California's Civil Rights Department. She claimed she'd been harassed and dealt with all sorts of unwanted behavior while filming It Ends With Us. And she wasn't just pointing fingers at Justin Baldoni. She went after Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath too, who just happened to be the executive producer. But hold on to your seats because it gets even messier. Blake wasn't done. She followed up with a full-blown lawsuit claiming that even though there were written agreements to stop the alleged behavior and prevent retaliation, Baldoni and the studio went totally behind her back. According to her, and this is the really scandalous part, they hired a crisis PR firm to run this massive smear campaign, spreading all kinds of dirt about her on social media and in the press, basically trying to destroy her reputation.
Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation.
But wait, because this drama just took the most explosive turn yet. Justin Baldoni has now hit back with his own lawsuit against Blake Lively and, plot twist, her husband Ryan Reynolds too. We're talking big money here. They're seeking more than $400 million in damages for defamation. And this lawsuit isn't just targeting Blake and Ryan, it's going after everyone involved, including Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath, the movie LLC, and even publicists Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel. Now, Baldoni and his team, including Heath's publicists and a contractor, are completely denying any harassment or wrongdoing. Instead, and this is where it gets really interesting, they're painting this whole mess as basically a power struggle between the two lead actors over who got to control the film. This denial came out in another lawsuit they filed against the New York Times, which had reported Blake's allegations back in December. But the New York Times, they're not backing down. In a statement to NPR, they stood their ground, calling their reporting meticulously and responsibly reported.
Same day, Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times for libel for $250 million, saying that Blake Lively had conspired with the New York Times to make him look like this bad individual.
The Times isn't playing around either. They made it crystal clear that their story was based on thousands of pages of original documents, including texts and emails that they quoted word for word. And they told NPR they're ready to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. But honestly, the real bombshell dropped when Baldoni and publicist Leslie Sloan slapped Blake with that massive $400 million lawsuit. The whole thing reads like a Hollywood drama script. They're claiming what started as this nice, friendly working relationship between Blake and Justin completely fell apart during production. Get this, according to their complaint, Blake supposedly used her star power to push for way more control than actors usually get. We're talking taking over wardrobe decisions, rewriting scenes, making her own cut of the film. She even allegedly demanded that Baldoni be kept out of promotional materials and events. And here's the real kicker. Baldoni's team is saying it wasn't just creative differences. They're claiming Blake Lively, her husband, and their PR team came at him with what they're calling extortionate threats meant to completely destroy his reputation. It's turned into this massive legal battle, with both sides throwing accusations left and right, and neither one showing any sign of backing down. Let me share what Wayfarer's attorney Brian Fredman said in this absolutely scorching statement to NPR. This lawsuit is based on an overwhelming amount of untampered evidence detailing Blake Lively and her team's duplicitous attempt to destroy Justin Baldoni, his team, and their respective companies. He's not holding back, saying they've got all the receipts, complete text messages, emails, video footage, everything. As he put it, this is a battle she will not win and will certainly regret. The lawsuit's casting a wide net too. It's not just going after Blake and Ryan, but also Blake's publicist Leslie Sloan and Vision PR, which represents both of them. When NPR tried to get comments about all this, Vision PR came back with a statement from Blake's legal team that basically doubled down on her original claims and dropped another bomb. Apparently, Blake wasn't the only one who had issues with Baldoni and Wayfarer. But there's more drama with these demands they're talking about. In the lawsuit, Baldoni and his team are saying they never got or agreed to any list of conditions. Instead, they claim they were handed this non-negotiable 17-point list of demands. Even though the studio wasn't happy with what the list was suggesting about behavior on set, they say they were backed into a corner.
There's also correspondence between Blake Lively's PR team and outlets. And, it's a lot for fans to digest and go through right now.
But hold on to your seats, because Baldoni isn't the only one with stories to tell about Blake. Word on the street is that there's a whole list of people coming forward with similar accusations. We're talking manipulation, behind-the-scenes drama, and allegedly trying to destroy careers. Speaking of drama, let's dish about what went down between Blake and Anna Kendrick during their movie together. Sure, they played best friends on screen, but behind the scenes? Total different story. Even their co-star Henry Golding spilled some tea about how nervous he was working with both of them. And honestly, it wasn't just because he was starstruck. Poor Henry admitted it was pretty intense on that small set, just 4 or 5 main cast members in close quarters. He actually questioned why he was even there, like, can you imagine how awkward that must have been? While he eventually managed to get along with both actresses, he totally spilled about how intimidated he felt. And between you and me, it sounds like that had more to do with the tension between Blake and Anna than anything else.
Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively had a feud while filming A Simple Favor?
I think they got on pretty reasonably well, I think.
Now, when someone asked Henry about this supposed feud in an interview, he tried to play it cool, saying everything was fine between Blake and Anna, but honey, his body language told a completely different story. He looked so uncomfortable, like he was sitting on some major gossip. Let me tell you about this alleged feud that had everyone talking. Apparently, things got super heated on the A Simple Favor set, but here's the crazy part. Despite all this behind-the-scenes drama, they both came back to film the sequel, which just wrapped in April 2024. The drama supposedly kicked off back in September 2017 during filming. Word is, Anna made some not-so-nice comments about Taylor Swift. And well, if you know anything about Blake, you know she's ride or die for Taylor. You can just imagine how that went down on set.
Like a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
There's more tea about Anna too. Apparently, she's got quite the reputation for being rude to service industry folks, so it's totally possible she might have said something about Taylor right in front of Blake.
Muffin, it's so hard being you.
No, but like I really would really like to be a Disney princess.
I'm sure that dream will come true.
I'm sure there's
because a dream is a way.
But wait, it gets even better. According to this podcaster who got the inside scoop from someone on set, Blake and Anna had this whole drama about their cleavage on the movie poster. Can you believe it? Apparently, Anna was super competitive with Blake and was constantly demanding more promotion. She even allegedly made them Photoshop her cleavage to match or be bigger than Blake's. The tension was so obvious in their body language during interviews.
Smooth as pie. It should be smooth as silk or whatever.
Easy as pie.
Yeah,
Right.
and smooth as silk. But my mom, I think, is a very confident person, and so for me, yeah, I sort of like.
Here's some social media drama for you. While these two follow each other on Instagram, Anna straight up admitted she loves being able to mute people, heavily hinting that Blake's already on that list. Like, how shady is that?
Muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted. Yeah.
But the real tea about the A Simple Favor set drama came from a crew member's screenshot, confirming that by the end of filming, Anna and Blake were practically enemies. It got so bad that the studio had to step in and basically beg them to pretend to be friends during the promotional tour. But did that help? Girl, no. They were caught throwing shade at each other during interviews. Like during this BuzzFeed interview, Anna brought up this time when Blake was an hour late to set, saying, That was the day I decided I hated you. We were all talking trash about you. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Now, let's talk about Blake's drama with her Gossip Girl co-star Leighton Meester. While they weren't exactly enemies, they definitely weren't the BFFs everyone hoped they'd be. Their on-set clashes were legendary. Fighting over costumes, screen time, you name it.
Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
The drama really kicked into high gear during the show's final seasons when both actresses were fighting for the spotlight. Things got extra spicy when Blake found out Leighton was getting a bigger wardrobe budget. Apparently, Blake was not happy about that, especially since she thought she'd achieved more success outside the show. The show's executive producer, Joshua Safran, tried to smooth things over in 2017, saying Blake and Leighton were not friends. They were friendly, but not friends like Serena and Blair. But rumor has it they started avoiding each other on set, and the cast had to take sides. And speaking of drama, let's talk about the whole Scarlett Johansson situation. I mean, we all know being besties with your ex's new partner isn't exactly normal, but the tension between these two is on another level. Sources say they literally plan their events so they never have to be in the same room. And get this, apparently Scarlett blames Blake for her marriage to Ryan falling apart. Talk about awkward.
Hendricks and Blake Lively had a feud while filming A Simple Favor.
I think they got on pretty reasonably well.
And don't even get me started on the Kate Middleton drama. Blake actually had the nerve to make fun of Kate during this whole thing, posting this photoshopped pool pic to promote her cocktail company. She had to apologize after Kate revealed she was battling cancer. Like, how embarrassing is that? Now let's dish about Blake's relationship drama with Penn Badgley from their Gossip Girl days. Sure, they had their sweet moments. Blake got him his first iPhone and helped him stay sober since she doesn't drink. But when it ended, total disaster.
Lots of big gasps and OMFG moments.
Poor Penn was absolutely heartbroken. Working with your ex? Not fun. After filming Wrapped, he admitted he was in such a dark place that half his stuff was literally in trash bags. His wife, Domino Kirka, later revealed that when she met him, he was still totally lost. Penn called those 6 years working with Blake after their breakup an endurance test. Can you imagine? Let me tell you about Blake's fling with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's wild. Leo, who's famous for only dating models under 25, actually broke his own rules for Blake, who was 24 at the time. Even though it only lasted 5 months, they were everywhere together. Fancy dates, exotic vacations, the works. And get this, Blake used to send Leo pictures of a doll to express her feelings. Strange? Totally. But that's just Blake being Blake. The drama really started when Leo wanted to get serious and even talked about settling down. But Blake? She wasn't ready for all that. An insider told US Weekly, Blake wasn't ready to move to the next level. It was just too much too quickly. The breakup hit Leo hard. He literally locked himself in his trailer during The Great Gatsby filming and refused to come out. But wait, because this gets even juicier. Fast forward to the 2016 Met Gala. Blake and Leo run into each other, and despite Blake being married to Ryan Reynolds, there were definitely some sparks flying. Witnesses said Leo kept winking and smiling at Blake, and she couldn't help flirting back. Ryan was there and apparently furious, but tried to play it cool. Since then, Blake and Leo barely interact, probably for the best.
I was worried that she was flashing her, so it might have been something to do with that. Zendaya doesn't look very happy, though, with her.
Now, about that drama with Zendaya at the Michael Kors fashion show. When people started speculating about Zendaya throwing shade at Blake and Emily Blunt, Zendaya tweeted that she was just looking at the runway. Sure, Z, whatever you say.
I could tell you it's...
You could say like really nice things.
I'm just a really good actor, you know? I'm a really good actor. Everything was really challenging with...
Oh, and let's not forget about Brandon Sklenar from It Ends With Us, stirring up drama by making these mysterious comments about falling in love with Blake on set. When asked what made it easy to develop feelings, he got all secretive about it. Blake tried to laugh it off by saying Brandon preferred practicing with a mirror instead of her. Awkward much? The last bit of drama involves Justin Baldoni again. While he hasn't directly dissed Blake, his decision to hire a crisis PR manager and not direct the sequel, It Starts With Us, speaks volumes. Like, what's really going on there?
I think there are better people for that one. I think Blake Lively's ready to direct.
Word is, Justin's been trying super hard to stay professional despite all this drama about directing and managing their latest production. He's working overtime to keep things running smoothly and avoid more public drama, but it's pretty obvious there's way more going on behind the scenes than what we're seeing. The controversy followed Blake right into 2024 with It Ends With Us, a movie about domestic violence. Instead of focusing on the serious subject matter like Justin did, he even worked with anti-domestic violence charities. Blake got criticized for using the film to promote her fashion lines and posting weirdly lighthearted content. In this super awkward interview with Jake Hamilton about domestic violence victims, Blake just made jokes instead of talking about resources or support. She was like, yeah, go ahead, ask me for my address or my phone number, or I could just share my location with you. People were not happy about her trying to turn this serious movie into some kind of romantic comedy, and these old interviews keep coming back to haunt her, like this YouTube video from reporter Kirsty Flaw titled, "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job." Yikes! Even fans are calling her out, saying she's the type to say something mean and then claim she's just kidding when she actually meant it. As one fan put it perfectly, for someone who likes to make jokes at other people's expense, Blake seems to get offended easily when she gets a taste of her own medicine. And honestly, after all this tea I've spilled, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.